And I think, when you draw those conclusions in terms of um, what the Apple cap in context to, the stimulus that's coming out, right? Just for people to understand, right? When you think about corporations being, in terms of their significance in that capacity, right? It's interesting to, for you to really understand it, but then more importantly for you to understand, meaning the employees, how significant your roles are when it comes to building these dynasties, right? And that's why I was, trying to frame these types of thinkings from an understanding that, right, you're exchanging your time, which is the most important thing that you will ever have in your existence, is your time. So we need to be extremely selective and careful with how we go about that exchange, right? And every aspect, it doesn't matter what it is, because why? It's the only thing that has the most value ever is your time. So for instance, you go to a corporation, right? Boom. So now, I understand that these corporations is going to have criterias in terms of job descriptions, depending upon your experiences, you could be able to negotiate and do different things, right? But ultimately, you should always go into every scenario understanding your self value, your worth. But more importantly, what does that translate into? Currency, right? Because again, it is your time that you're exchanging for currency, right? So I was trying to tell people to understand it from that perspective, right? Now, how do we even further that thought, right? So boom, when you look at, again, the stock market, right? If you have an ability to educate yourself, understand money on another level, right? By educating yourself, and then by also doing so will then result into you being able to obtain not only more knowledge in the sense, but financial freedoms to where it will be a part of, your journey to wherever you're trying to go, right? So these again is just simple fundamental things that is extremely necessary, like you said, man, like at the end of the day, you know, you got to get to the point within yourself to where you're saying that I know I can do better. I am gonna do better. And if those deterrents, detractors, keep that shit in 2020, right? You're in 2021, right? There's a lot of great things going on, literally. As we're having this recording right now, come tomorrow, the stock market's probably gonna do some other crazy, right? And you're gonna be like, yo, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda. But come on, what are you waiting on, right? Now, the further that, right? So now you're sitting around, you're like, yo, I just came up, boom, this money, right? This digital currency is looking so beautiful. But see, we gotta also remember, right, that that's exactly what it is. Digital currency, right? So now a guy like me, right? Simple. Now we got to then understand there are elements, right, that has actual value. Digital currency, cash, like my man beautifully laid out, these things are depreciating, right? Right, depending upon again what we're talking about, right? So someone like me, right? So then what could I do in order to keep the equivalency of this digital success, and then be able to then now invest that and then eventually create successes off of it, is what? In acquiring land, right? So, you never really got to jump into the whole, real estate right out the gate, but what you can do is buy land, right? So again, I say that to simply say we have to then understand, strategically understanding, if we're making these types of moves over here, it can't be just to be and look, ooh, look at my digital gains, because just the same way they came around and made it, because why? We understood that, guess what, there was significant amount of what? Corruption. So don't think for a second how things are moving good. The moment they're ready to flip the switch, that could happen, and then you don't want to be now looking at all that hard work go down, and not have anything to show for it, right? So I simply tell people, when we doing these things, we have to have an actual end game, or more so a plan. So the plan, so anytime so if somebody hits you with your plan, all right, so what's the other plan? And then what's the other plan, right? So we always have to continue to keep evolving the situation, because why? The situation is constantly evolving, right? So,
Dope. I like that. That's dope.
yeah, I mean,
That's dope. Know what I mean? That's dope. It's the next level to the second level. That's nice.
Right,
I like that.
right.
Wow. So with land, okay, I like that. That's dope. So land for me, I would say a business because a business, in terms of whatever you want it to be, that's always a good one because at least it's another story. I'm always big on different, multiple, diversify your income,
Facts.
and which is true because it's like
Right.
if you can utilize the stock market to fund your business, at least you know that hey, my my portfolio, I use the right word, my portfolio is big enough to fund business that I'm trying to create, which is hey, at the end of the day, you got the right stocks that pay you dividends. In other words, you need to learn. If you don't know it, then you can utilize that dividend to put it into another company. And when it comes to your taxes, that's another thing too, because it's like, hey, you can when you create a business, there's a lot of write-offs in there, man. See, these are the things that they don't even teach you. I don't even know why we don't. We got to go back to that too. I know we
Right.
didn't talk about that. I
Facts.
don't understand why. You know why they don't teach you? Because they don't want you to learn that. Because they want you to work a 9 to 5.
Let's go.
And like I said, do not despise your 9 to 5 because you can also utilize your 9 to 5 to fund your business or fund your investments. But it's a matter of how you view it. Because some people are like, no, I can't really do it. I can't do that. But at the end of the day, you can put $5 away every day. And every time, I'm gonna say this every time you get paid, pay yourself first. I know some people are like, but I gotta pay. No, pay yourself. Whether it's $1, $5, pay yourself first. That is a motto for 2021. It's something that everybody been doing, or it's something you should be doing. Well, pay yourself first. And going forward from this moment forward, from the moment you watch this video going on, pay yourself first. You get your paycheck. I don't care what bill you gotta pay. If you get paid $800 and you need to use the whole $800, figure out a way to pay yourself first. Because at the end of the day, you can call that company and be like, hey, I only have $795. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pay myself this $95. I'm
Yep.
gonna pay myself this $5 and I'm gonna utilize that to put it either towards my business or toward not even necessarily you don't even have to be necessarily towards the business because I don't want somebody to listen to it like, but I don't even know what to build or I don't know what to invest. Then we have to figure out another way to okay, if you can't build a business, you can't there's no excuse for why you can't invest in the stock market because I don't want to hear that. You have multiple free brokerages. You have Robinhood, SoFi, you have Webull. All of those things are free. You just put money in there and boom, you buy you a stock here and there and watch it grow. It's not that simple, but just saying it could be. But yeah. So, pay yourself first. That's definitely a key component. And I feel like at the end of the day, I'm not mad at my parents, what they did, because they didn't know no better. So I can't really be mad at them and it's only for me. I have a 3 year old, so for me, it's also teaching him everything that I learned. So when we say go out and educate yourself, don't just educate yourself for yourself. Educate the people around you, your family, your friends, everybody. Everybody you come in contact with. You should be excited and passionate about, hey, why ain't you doing this? Even if they don't even want you, even if they don't even want to have that conversation, you need to have that conversation. Because at the end of the day, everybody you come in contact is a reflection of you. So ultimately, you're gonna meet that one person you're gonna need to be like to bring you to level two. It's like, oh damn. He's like, yeah, I'm invested too. Why ain't you doing this? Oh damn, I didn't even know that. Oh wow. And then next thing you know, boom, you're at level two. And you can clear it too. Because he already did, he or her already made the same mistakes that you're potentially gonna make. So for me, it's more so get to that level where it's like, hey, pay yourself first. That's one. Two, start investing. Point blank period. And start investing for your kids too, because I am no going 2021. I am no longer giving. I'm not buying nobody no gifts. I'm telling you right now, I am buying you no gifts. If you're
Yo,
watching this, you're a part of my family. I am buying you no gifts. You know what I'm gonna get you?
yo,
Stocks. I'm gonna
Let's
get you
go.
some stocks. I'm gonna get you some stocks. Here's a share of Neo. Hold on to that. Let's see where that goes. So that no more gifts. I ain't buying you nothing physical. Here, boom, stop.
All right.
That's where I'm at. I can't do none of that because the end of the day I buy you this and then you don't even use it. It's trash. You break it, whatever the case may be.
That's bro.
Years from now, like damn, it was only $50 something when I gave it to you. Next thing you know, it's worth over $300.
Yeah.
You can sell it. You can do what you want to it.
Facts.
It's growing in value. No more weed. That's that 2020 stuff. Leave that back there. We done with that.
Let's go.
Nothing against 2020. It was a great year, man.
So something that you said too, right, just a second ago, when you even like, so you mentioned your 3-year-old, right? So think about this, right? So when we see how fast we're moving, especially when it comes to artificial intelligence, right? Really and truly think about this, right? So people literally sit by and they think, oh, they have this, glorified job, everything is perfect, ideal, but they fail to understand the world as we know it is changing so fast. So
Mhm.
boom, now you got artificial intelligence that literally it's moving in every industry across, right? So literally it's replacing people, right? Like that's so you if you want to talk about a an economic crisis, right? Right, and I'm trying to think of the other word,
Yeah, I know. Job
right? Yes,
replacement.
right, right. So literally, right. So when you even think about that, right? So we have to then understand the importance. So think about that, right? So you, right, you built corporations to make them these big, powerful things, right? And then what do they give you in return? Oh, you know what we're going to do in return? We're going to invest all of this money that you guys made us into artificial intelligence, then to replace you. That's what you get because that's how much we appreciate you. So again, while we get all caught up in this romance that we have with our corporation, we need to understand ours that you're exchanging again your time for a wage that you agreed upon to do a job, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Those people, you got to understand this, right? People, literally, if you could have been able to make in exchange the same money that you're making literally to not to have to go there, do you really think that you'll go there? No. So which means that you will never ever have met those individuals inside of those types of atmospheres, which then they they create these guidelines for you in terms of how they want you to conduct yourself. So at the end of the day, do you really even know those people? Not at all, because why? You have to act a certain way when you're on the job. So meaning you can't really express yourself in a certain manner, but you could clearly see that, right? Because when they want you to see certain things, they don't give a crap. They'll let you know their position and where they stand, right? So when you just think about on so many different levels, the amount of disrespect that we all deal with on across the spectrum, right? We really gotta again understand the necessary importance of what we are talking about when it comes to investing into yourself, to your liberation, to your freedom, to
Facts.
your next journey, whatever that may be. But it's not for you trading your time to make corporations these big giants and then for them to say thank you and screw you by bringing on artificial intelligence, right? So we really got to put these things in perspective because guess what, my man, you got a 3-year-old, I got a 4-year-old, I got a 7-year-old, and I got a about to be a 19-year-old, right? So when I literally think about all of those different all of my different generations, right? Like even my 19-year-old right now, right? Before the pandemic, right? It was challenging for him to find a job, right? And then now, boom, we're in where we're at. You forget about it now. Literally forget about it, right? So that's happening to him right now. So what am I doing in terms of making it to where that I'm positioning myself right to be able to make sure that my family is has the necessary things that they need for their survival, bro. Because if not, then that's just selfish. What do you do? What do you like? Literally, what are you doing with your time? I don't understand it. right?
know, you wanna know something? One of the most crucial mistakes is that we trade time for money.
Facts.
That is probably one of the most crucial mistakes that we ever made was, giving up your time for money. Because even the time that you give up, 40 hours a week, what do you mean?
Hmm.
What you mean? I'm just saying this, right? After, I'm gonna just give y'all an example. So with the whole COVID thing, I was out of work for a whole week. And in that whole week, I made $1,000 on the market. Granted, the market's going up, so it's in a sense easier to make money, which is a good reason to get in. But we ain't gonna talk about that. So then that was in November, and come January, I'm making $1,000 a day. But it's more so, it's not the perception of how easy is it to make the $1,000. This is the fact that I was not at work. I was getting paid to be home because it was COVID stuff. So nothing against that. I'm just saying it's not my fault that I'm not at work. Other than that, I'll be there. But the fact that, for me, it's like I'm at work and I'm also making money. And then when I look at the market, I'm like, are you kidding me? I just made my paycheck in about an hour. And I'm just like, I don't despise my job. I like my job. But at the end of the day, it's like I look at the market where it's like, even though I have that money invested in there, I have the knowledge to be like, okay, the money that I see there isn't for right now. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily for right now. It's more so for later on down the road. When I look back at this moment, like, damn, I only had this amount of money invested in my portfolio. And it's like, damn. Now I look at it now and it's like, I'll have that money towards my retirement. Now look at this crazy money. I have that towards my retirement. I'll also have Social Security, or if it actually exists when it gets to that point. Who knows? Who really knows if we're actually gonna have that? But that's a whole nother conversation for another time. Look into that. And then, maybe you have a Roth IRA. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's more so when I get to that point. I'm not gonna wait till I get to that point to try to figure out new ways. Because the last thing you want to do is to get to 65. You're like, damn, now I have some money, but it's not gonna be enough to get me to 85 or 95. You know what I mean? See, when you're here now in this current moment, yes, we don't necessarily think that far ahead, but we try to act like we prepare for it. Does that make any sense? It's like we try to prepare for it because I have the job, I have job security, but it's like, are we really going into these funds and seeing that, hey, when I get to this certain point, is the money that I have going to be enough to get me to 20 years down the road? You know what I mean? Because you get to 65, it don't necessarily say, I'm not gonna work till I'm 65. I'm gonna retire my damn self early. I would love to retire myself at 40 if I have to. If I put the right seeds and keep watering them things, 40 out of there. It's like, damn, you retire at 40. Yes, why the hell not? Trying to work no more. Shit. But anyways, what I'm saying is that when you get to 65, are you just working to get to 65? Or you thinking about maybe 10, 20 years after that? Just saying. And what are you going to give your grandkids? What are you going to leave for them? You going to leave them bills? Are you going to leave them some investments? Like, hey, all you got to do is just take over. They're going to give you a check every month. They're going to be a new check coming in every month because of the decisions that you make right now. And at the end of the day, I know you mentioned, I can't pinpoint it, but you were talking about time. We are always gonna have what now? That's it. That's all we're ever gonna have. It don't matter if it's 12 o'clock, whatever time it is. Time is a human construct. It ain't even real. So we can just remove that. Yes, I said it. It ain't even real. It's a human thing. Time don't really exist. We made that up. Yeah, I'm sorry I popped your bubble, but time don't exist. It's a human construct. So only thing we ever have is now. So if you want to change your life, start right now. We said this in a couple of episodes again. I'm gonna link it up here. What we talk about now, because that's all that matters. Anything you want to do right now, start right now. Don't wait till next week. Don't start till Monday, Sunday, whatever day you want to pick. It's right now. So in their day, every decision that you make right now, whether it be small or huge, it affects you from years from now.